The Dad.
Rock and roll!
Well, judging from the carving on your desk, it looks like his name is Ozzy.
Yes, and apparently he rules.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
So, it's a day that ends in Y, so nothing's new here. However, apparently Random House, on behalf of Lucasfilm and Disney, published a book written by a woman who does sci-fi, I think, occult, and other writings, named Madeline Rue, called Star Wars Legacy. And it's about Leia and Rey, and it's about how they decide, well, Rey decides she wants to go and explore the galaxy looking for Jedi clues because she doesn't really know anything about being a Jedi since she did such a wonderful time training with Luke, even though he didn't really want to train her, and I don't really blame him. I wouldn't have wanted to train her either. He could probably sense she was a Palpatine. But the princess decides to go along with. They end up in Tython. And we remember Tython from Mandalorian Season 2. It is the planet that has, I think, the first Jedi Temple. It's where the Jedi began their thing, right? Anyway, so they go there. And it's all about Rey being vulnerable and alone and isolated. And by the way, Leia is too, right? But while Leia kind of opens up about being alone in the world, because let's see, and I blame J.J. Abrams and that has-been Larry Kasdan. They tore the relationship she had with Han apart for, just to make it so the newbies had a chance. They sent Luke packing to frickin' Ahch-To, and, they decided that Ben should be a bad guy and butcher his father, like a dog on a catwalk. What this book is an attempt to is explain all the bullshit, not just of the rise of Palpatine, and, try to explain why Rey decided, after spending time with Leia on Tython, that she could be a Skywalker, because it's literally the place where the Skywalker name began, right? The Lars homestead, and on Tatooine, and obviously, if you look at the picture of the author, you get creepy, left-wing, bigoted, Karen, female, feminazi, Reylo vibes. She's got one side of her head shaved in this, so obviously attracting a man is not her thing. And why do they choose her? Here's the question that I think everybody needs to ask. When they're looking at Marvel and they're looking at Random House, why do you constantly choose these woke wankers to write Star Wars? Right? Question mark. All right. Charles Soule writing Star Wars and basically demanding the head asshole for Project Luminous, the High Republic garbage, demanding that the 5 sequel trilogy fans that are still around demand they get a movie about Rey and demand they get The Hunt for Ben Swolo out. Why is he still working for Marvel? Why is he still involved? Why does he think he matters? Why do any of these people think they're relevant anymore? Do they absolutely need to see the books on the sequel trilogy and just how much money it lost? You know, it's not about your fees, okay? I've woken up plenty of times in my life discovering a show I liked was canceled, or seeing something that I liked out there in the world was going away. Why? Because not enough people liked it, and it wasn't making the company any money. This is where we're at. We've got a bunch of useless, woke assholes who think they matter, demanding a multi-billion dollar company sacrifice, again, their profits to make them feel better about themselves so these fuckers can be validated. Okay? This is unbelievable. Yet here we are. You know, Jason Ward sticks his wormy fucking head up in the world. We got Charles Soule trying to rally, you know, the Reylos, and, you know, Madeline Rue trying to fix what can't be fixed. I have never seen so much economic and business illiteracy from a bunch of frickin' so-called educated people in my life. You know, it's just, do you not understand Ray and Kyle Ron don't make money for the Walt Disney Company, okay? You fucked up Star Wars so badly, you're lucky that Disney just doesn't close down the shop. More to come.
Hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side, kid.
You know, it shouldn't shock us. I mean, when Marco Rubio says the communists haven't gone away and they've become more divisive, very much very aggressive. If you've got kids in college, I would say get them out. Send them to Hillsdale. Send them to Christendom. Send them to Franciscan University. Send them to Liberty U. Don't send them to any of the big Ivy League schools, because you get this shit right here. The fact of the matter is, Madeline Rue paints Ray as a mentally ill, whatever it is, and Leia the same way. And all because she's trying to explain the sequels. Why do they need to be explained? Why? Because they suck so bad. When you find out there wasn't a plan, when Kathleen Kennedy actually takes our side saying, we made a mistake in who we cast as Han Solo. You can't just replace Harrison Ford. True. Happy birthday, by the way, bud. So why? This is why we're, as fans, demanding Disney fix it and say it out loud. Say it out loud. We are erasing the sequel trilogy. We are taking it out of the timeline. We are putting it off to the side, calling it Legends, which would be Great Revenge on Pablo. And we are going to make something that the fans will enjoy, because the people that are making them are fans, just like the rest of us. And, you know, the people who like the sequels, you know, they can, you know, they take the short bus, you know, mommy and daddy, you know, put their little beanie hats on and send them to the short bus. They can watch them. Don't take them off Disney Plus. Just put the Legends label on it. This is not canon. All right? I mean, you know, it's not difficult. But the idea that Random House spent money, paid this obvious lesbian woke bitch money to write a book without any men in it It has absolutely nothing to do with Star Wars, right? Nothing. To try to explain Rey and then try to explain Leia is absolutely retarded. But may I remind you, publishing companies have been taken over by left-wing assholes. And I really think the only writers that really have a chance, well, when Vince Flynn was alive, and Brad Thor, and others. But they got in before this all happened. You've got a bunch of woke executives at Random House and Bantam Books and everywhere, saying, we shouldn't really have books written about brave white men and such. We need more books about women, and we need to have a diverse cast in the books. We can't, it's like, look, this is as retarded as casting Lupita, what's her name, as Helen of Troy. Period. And the fact that she has never read the Odyssey, and I mean the actual story as told by Homer, is unbelievable, right? There are a bunch of illiterates making these things because they're getting paid, not much I might add, and there won't be anybody to read them. I have bookshelves full of Star Wars novels, right? Not one is the sequels, has anything to do with any of it. I've got all kinds of stuff, but I will not have that. I have reference books. I do not have this new stuff because it's crap. And again, why would you waste money? Why would you waste people's time on writing a book no one's going to read about a trilogy everybody fucking hated and making it worse? This makes it worse. It doesn't make it better. It makes it worse. Okay? I guarantee you the girl that wrote it has never seen Star Wars. And if George tried to explain what he was doing to her, explain it to her, she wouldn't know what the fuck he was talking about because she's a retard. She's an illiterate. Again, look, state of Oregon is making it so kids don't have to read, write, and do math to graduate high school. Right? There you go. Enough said. And the fact that Charles Soule look, everybody knows the sequels are going away. He's desperate because he is obviously going to lose whatever chance he has to write Star Wars because they're not going to bring him back to write stuff that actually means something because he's too stupid, he's too ignorant, and he's too uneducated to write good Star Wars. He's not A.C. Crispin, right? He's none of those guys. And, you sit there and go, well, can we just, do we have to suffer through more Rey? She's not a Skywalker. I don't care what Madeline Rue writes. She will never be a Skywalker. The book isn't canon to begin with. If you really want to be honest, if they can make, the twins legends, they can make this shit legends. Right? And again, you got Charles Soule making damn sure that the 5 Reylos out there scream and rant and rave about a Rey movie because why? Did he really like it that much? Yes, because he's retarded. And it's not because it's good Star Wars. It's because it reflects his politics, and that's all they care about. Okay? Anyway, I ain't buying this. Star Wars Legacy, I ain't buying it. I know you guys aren't. No one's going to buy this. I mean, when Polygon posted this and basically spoiled it, I mean, there's a reason behind it. You know, and I'm sorry, but I really don't give a shit about Rey and how isolated she was. I really don't, I mean, and doing this to Leia, fuck you, Madeline. Keep her name out of your mouth, right? Keep Han and Luke's names out of your mouth, okay? Charles Soule, get the hell away from Star Wars. We're done with you. We're done with all this woke shit. Go away. This is Steph signing out. See you around the galaxy.